Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. And this is your tip of the week, and I've got a lot of little tips for you. So let's get started. I really wanted to show you this pattern because I think it's a great pattern for beginners who want to learn how to make clothing. And this is a simplicity pattern that was purchased at Walmart. And what I liked about this is that it's this dress pattern, but it shows you different ways where you can cut the sleeves to suit your needs. It also shows where you can cut it to turn it into a blouse. And it shows you here with sleeves that look like this, changing the bottom on the sides a little bit, and then changing the front section. So it's a nice versatile pattern. Now, if you're interested in getting this, and I think you're only going to find this at Walmart, Walmart has a different type of numbering system, color code area. So if you see this pattern and you want to get it, and I'm going to read it for you, S8930, you have to look for the drawer where all the labels are green. You don't go by the number first. You first go by the color band here. And in my store, it was the middle drawer. It may be different in your store. Then you go to the number. It took me a while to figure it out, and I finally had to go to the front of the pattern book, opened it up, and there on the inside cover explained how to do this. I don't know why they just don't put it all in numerical order, but they don't do it that way. So I really suggest to get this pattern if you want to learn how to start making clothing. If you are going to buy a clothing pattern and you're looking for your measurements on the back of the envelope, everything's by measurements, but you don't know how to measure your body, a lot of your patterns on the inside on the pattern sheet, there's a little diagram like this. Now, I've noticed that some pattern companies are starting to eliminate this. I don't know why, but they are. So here is where you would measure. So this is marked number 1, and this is the chest area, the widest part of your chest. Then if you go down here on the pattern, this is where it's going to be on the pattern. And then up here, it shows you where to measure your waist. It's usually just a little bit above your belly button. And then, of course, it shows it down here on the pattern. And your hips, it's on the lower end of your hips is where they want you to measure. And again, you can reference it here. So when you're looking at the back of the pattern envelope for your size to buy or to use on the pattern, you need to refer to these. Go with the pattern that fits the largest part of your body, because you can always make things smaller. It's much harder to make it bigger. I have a lot of viewers from all over the world. I think almost in every country I have viewers. And sometimes I get a question from a viewer who lives in a foreign country about the metric conversion. In other words, everything here is in inches. So you can go on the internet and you can actually look for a metric conversion chart. And right here, I've got one here. So it's metric-conversions.org. Excuse me, metric-conversions.org. So if I say 5/8 of an inch, you go up here to the chart, and it's going to come out that it's 1.5. So even your sewing machines, your little throat plates, a lot of them are in centimeters. So you need to have some sort of a conversion chart so that you understand it, or use your little ruler to help you find it on your throat plate. Some sewing machines, like my Baby Lock, have both metric and inches. On my sewing machine, I have a lot of decorative stitches, and I have shown you how to use the lettering on your sewing machine, and that's in a previous tip of the week. But I also have a section on my machine where the decorative stitching is very large. Not all my stitches, but I have a certain number. And where you can use these is on borders, for instance, on a quilt or on a table runner. So let's take a look at a quilt. So here is a small wall hanging quilt that I have, and if you're interested in this pattern, it's called Attic Window. And so I do have a tutorial on it, and that link will be listed below. But what I'm talking about as far as border is this strip around here. So you could use those large decorative stitch patterns to go all the way around this border. You can also use these large stitches on a table runner that has a border. So here's a drawing of a table runner. So it would be the border around here. So you could do a row on each side. Now you can also combine some of those stitch patterns if you have a really large border. So here's a suggestion how you could combine it. You could start with a row like this, then do this row, and then on the other side of this row, you could repeat this again. So you could really create a really nice design. Because if you go to a long arm quilter, they do beautiful work on quilts, but there is a price to pay for it. In my previous tip of the week, I talked about circle templates, and it was the June Taylor circle templates that I buy. They also make heart-shaped templates, and you get a variety of sizes, and also little flower-shaped templates, and it comes in a variety of sizes. So let me show you an example of what you could do with this flower one. Here is a flower that I created. So I used one of the sizes of the flower template, but I also used one of my circle templates to put inside. So you can combine many of those templates together to create a design. And then as far as the stem here goes, all I did was draw a long rectangle, and then I just freehand drew a leaf and created this little flower. So if you want to know more about machine applique, I do have tutorials on it. So I'll also have links listed down below that you can go to check out how to make different things with your templates. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about circles again, because there are other templates out there that you can buy that also create circles. And let me turn this one around. This is called Omni Arc, and you can get this at Joann Fabrics and Crafts, and you can create these different size circles. So in the previous video, I showed you how to just fold your paper. So I'll just go back over that again real quick. You take paper that's going to be larger than your circle, fold it in half once, fold it in half again. So now you have two folded edges here. So you want to take this side of your template and this side and put it on the folded edges. So you line it up, and then you draw your circle, and then you take something and cut it out, and you wind up with a circle. And this one you will wind up with a 6-inch circle. Here is another template that is made by June Taylor, and this is used for rounding corners. So you have a large rounded area and a smaller rounded area. So how this works is you take the straight edges and place them on your fabric. And you can use this when you want to round the corners of a table runner, a pot holder. So you can either take your rotary cutter and cut around it, or you can just take pencil or fabric marker and draw on it and then cut it out. And then here's the smaller one. You do it the same way. Lay these straight edges on the sides of your fabric and then draw or cut around it. June Taylor makes a lot of templates for a variety of pattern styles. This is a hexagon shape. Now, I have not done any hexagon quilting. I too am a little intimidated by it. One of these days I will do a tutorial on it. But here's a hexagon quilt. So there's a little different method of going about putting all of these shapes together. So if you don't want to draw all of them, you can stack your fabric, draw on just the top fabric, and then take your rotary cutter and cut out all those pieces. And again, this is made by June Taylor, and all of these templates you can find on the internet, and you can even go to Joanne Fabrics and Crafts. This is a package of aprons that are ready-made. And I bought this at Walmart, and there's 3 to a package. And they're actually nice and thick. They're like a lightweight canvas. And yes, I do like to make my own aprons, but there's also comes a time or an event where you just need to grab an apron real quick, and then you can embellish it. So supposing you're a member of a club or an organization, and you want to create your own logo or your own name and put it on your apron. So let me show you what I did with one of these. Now these aprons aren't really very large, but they are usable. So here's what I did. I used to live in a retirement community where they had a wine club. So you actually could print the name of your wine club or organization, select a logo that kind of is appropriate to use in it. So you can use these stitches in your embroidery machine. You can also go to websites that sell embroidery stitch patterns, and then you can download them to your sewing machine. So think about ways that you could use your embroidery machine to help support a club or organization that you belong to. One more thing I want to talk about on this apron is this curved line. One of the viewers asked if my embroidery machine did that, and yes, it does. And it has a variety of curves. It can be a real sharp curve or a gentle curve, and in an upcoming tip of the week, I will show you how to do this. I hope you enjoyed this tip of the week and that you learned something new. Now remember, everything that I talked about in here, I will have some type of a link listed below your YouTube screen. So to get to those links, scroll down to the description section, click on the down arrow or show more. It will open up larger. Scroll down a little bit and you'll see the links. Now while you're doing all that, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.